Canto 6, Chapter 4. Today we have text 25. So it's a secret of the swans, yeah? Hamsa Guhya. So those of you who like secrets, it's a good chapter. Those of you who are Hamsas or Paramahamsas, it's also a very good chapter. And for everybody, it's also a good chapter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Deho Savoksha Manavo Bhuta Matram. Deho Savoksha Manavo Bhuta Matram. Atmanamanyam cha vidu param yat. Atmanamanyam cha vidu param yat. Sarvam puman veda gunam satadjo. Sarvam puman veda gunam satadjo. Naveda sarvagyamanantamire. Naveda sarvagyamanantamire. Deho savokshamanavo bhutamatram. Atmanamanyam cha vidu param yat. Sarvam puman veda gunanscha tadjo. Naveda sarvagyamanantamire. Please next, somebody chant. Deho savoksha manavo bhutamatram. Atmanamanyam cha vidu param yat. Sarvam puman veda gunanscha tadjo. Naveda sarvagyam anantamire. Deho savoksha manavo bhutamatram. Atmanamanyam cha vidu param yat. Sarvam puman veda gunamscha tadjo. Naveda sarvagyam anantamide. Ladies, please. Deho savoksha manavo bhutamatram. Atmanamanyam cha vidu param yat. Sarvam puman veda gunamscha tadjo. Naveda sarvagyam anantamide. Deho savoksha manavo bhutamatram. Atmanamanyam cha vidu param yat. Sarvam puman veda gunanscha tadjo. Naveda sarvagyam anantam ide. Deha, this body. Asava, the life heirs. Aksha, the different senses. Manava, the mind, understanding, intellect, and ego. Bhutamatram, the 5 gross material elements and the sense objects. Form, taste, sound, and so on. Atmanam, themselves. Anyam, any other. Cha, and. Viduhu, know. Param, beyond. Yat, that which. Sarvam, everything. Puman, the living being. Veda, knows. Gunan, the quality of the material nature. Cha, and. Tajya, knowing those things. Na, not. Veda, knows. Sarvagyam, unto the omniscient. Anantam, the unlimited. Ire, I offer my respectful obeisances. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Because they are only matter, the body, the life airs, the external and internal senses, the 5 gross elements, and the subtle sense objects, form, taste, smell, sound, and touch, cannot know their own nature. So the eye cannot know the eye. The eye doesn't see the eye. The eye doesn't even see the closest thing to the eye. What is the closest thing to the eye? The eyelid. Do you see the eyelid from inside? Okay, so you cannot know, the eye cannot know the eye. Ear cannot know the ear. But, yeah, so they cannot know their own nature, the nature of the other senses, or the nature of their controllers. So this is controlled by Indra. Eyes are controlled by the sun. Tongue is controlled by Varuna and Agni, depending how you use it. So do you know them? Do you know Agni? Do you know Varuna? Do you know Indra? But you interact every second. But the living being, because of his spiritual nature, can know his body, the life airs, the senses, the elements, and the sense objects. And he can also know the 3 qualities that form their roots. In other words, if you look from a different perspective, not as a body, but as the soul, different from the body, if you step outside, if you observe yourself observing, you can do it right now. So there is the eyes, there is somebody inside who perceives through the eyes or something, the mind, and then there is you who perceives the perceiver through the perceiving eyes. Only by Krishna's mercy. Okay, so you cannot, the senses cannot know, but you can know. Nevertheless, continues the translation, although the living being is completely aware of them, even if you are completely aware of the body, means you are self-realized, he is unable to see the Supreme Being. You cannot see. No darshan. Because he is omniscient and unlimited. Who is omniscient and unlimited. I, therefore, offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So you cannot know, but you can know, but you cannot know. So what to do? Offer obeisances. Very logical, very reasonable, makes sense. Purport. Material scientists can make an analytical study of the physical elements, the body, the senses, the sense objects, and even the air that controls the vital force, prana. But still, they cannot understand that above all these is the real spirit soul. In other words, the living entity, because of his being a spirit soul, can understand all the material objects. Or, when self-realized, he can understand the Paramatma, upon whom yogis meditate. Nevertheless, the living being, even if advanced, cannot understand the Supreme Being, the personality of Godhead, for he is Ananta, unlimited, in all 6 opulences. Hare Krishna. Deho savokshamanavo bhutamatram atmanamanyam cha vidu param yat sarvam puman veda gunanscha tajyo na veda sarvagyam anantamire. Because they are only matter, the body, the life airs, the external and internal senses, the 5 gross elements, and the subtle sense objects, form, taste, smell, sound, and touch, cannot know their own nature, the nature of the other senses, or the nature of their controllers. Matter cannot know matter. But the living being, because of his spiritual nature, can know his body, the life airs, the senses, the elements, and the sense objects. And he can also know the 3 qualities that form their roots. Goodness, passion, ignorance. Nevertheless, although the living being is completely aware of them, he is unable to see the Supreme Being, who is omniscient and unlimited. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurudmiritam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha Akandamandalakaram Vyaptaina Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Chaitanya Charitamrita Yasya prasadada gyopi sadhya sarvagyatam vrajet Shri Chaitanya Deva me Bhagavan samprasidatu. May Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, be fully merciful unto me, because by his grace a complete fool can get all knowledge in one moment. Vaigunya kita kalita paisunya vrana pirita dainarnaveni magnoham Chaitanya Vaidemasraye. Another one from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I am infested with germs of material faults, and I am burned by the boils of enviousness. and fault-finding mentality. Therefore, immersing myself in the ocean of humility, I take shelter of Dr. Chaitanya Vaidyam Ashraya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Strange situation. We cannot know the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But all we are trying to do is we are hearing about Him and learning about His pastimes and qualities. And apparently we are trying to develop some understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are doing the impossible. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, Arjuna is asking Krishna 6 questions. And one of these questions, what is the Gyeya? What is the proper object of knowledge? What should we know? And then Krishna answers this, Bahirantascha Bhutanam, he is inside and outside, he is everywhere, and he is beyond, he's in the heart, he's the source of knowledge. And one of the descriptions of this object of knowledge, Gyayam, is Avigyeya. So he is unknowable. So Arjuna is asking, what should I know? And Krishna is answering, you should know the unknowable. That you should know. Okay. So, by definition, he is unknowable. In fact, in the Western world, in the 20th century, there was a very famous philosopher, Martin Buber, and he was a professor in Frankfurt. So he wrote a very famous mystical book about God called I and Thou. Me or tum. Yeah. Ich und du. So he says that the purpose of, in this book, mystical book, he says that the purpose of life is to stop calling God He and start calling God Thou. Not even you, but Thou. भगवान को आप नहीं कहना चाहिए, भगवान को तुम कहना चाहिए. So very personal. Thou. Yeah? Of course, you is also okay. So personal relationship. So there, this Martin Buber, he says that God who can be known, I don't care to know. God who could be known is no God. God should be beyond. Bhagavatam repeats again and again. Avang manasa gochara. Jai Shishi Gornitai, Shishi Krishna Balaram, Shishi Radha Shema Sundara Rida Vishaka Ki Jai. If God could be known, He would not be God. So, this is an important point. Okay? And it's a very strange point. Anyway, this is the 6th canto, so there has to be some advanced material. There has to be something more than 2 + 2 = 4. It has to be something more deep than that. Bhagavatam is the school which is supposed to lead us all the way into Vrindavan. You can say, we are already in Vrindavan. Okay, yes, we are in Vrindavan, but Jiva Goswami is asking Nityananda Prabhu, you say that in Vrindavan nothing is material. Even people are not ordinary. Even pilgrims who come are not ordinary. You cannot just buy a ticket and come. It's special. So Jiva Goswami is asking Nityananda Prabhu, how is this? Okay, you say that the walls, the stones, the courtyard, everything is spiritual, and people live here, but it seems that many people stay here in Navadip Dham, but perceive nothing, and even their character is not always so good. So how is this? So Nityananda Prabhu is answering that the Dham is covered by a film of Praudamaya. Tiny covering, thin covering. For us it's maybe very thick, I don't know. So we are in the Dham, but not in the Dham. We are probably on the Dham. So we are prevented, if we don't have the proper attitude, then we will not perceive the Dham as the Dham is. So Bhagavatam is the school which leads us all the way to Vrindavan, real Vrindavan, aprakrita Vrindavan, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says. In preface to the Bhagavatam, we have it in every canto. Srila Prabhupada writes here, the reading matter is so arranged with the original Sanskrit text, its English transliteration, synonyms, translation, and purports, so that one is sure to become a God-realized soul at the end of finishing the first 9 cantos. Who has read the full Bhagavatam through the first 9 cantos? Congratulations. Yes, so Prabhupada says one is sure to become a God-realized soul. So this is like a school with 9 grades to enter the 10th canto, to understand the 10th canto properly. And part of that understanding, you can see again and again, is pointed out to not take Krishna cheaply, to not take God for granted, to not think that, oh, I understand, I know everything. Of course, there will be different periods in our spiritual life. So let me ask you, just so I know where do we go from here, who has been practicing Krishna consciousness for 15 years or more? 15 years or more. Okay, thank you. Yes. So, in the beginning, as we start reading the books, we often, after a few months, get a feeling, I know everything. It's called Utsahamai. We think that, yeah, it's all clear. Krishna is God. Krishna is all attractive. He's in Vrindavan. We are all souls. Krishna era Nityadas, servants of Krishna, servants of God. Bas. What else is there to know? That's all, isn't it? These are the 3 modes. That's his nature. He's the controller. Very clear, you know. 9 prameyas. You can write it in 9 lines or 10 lines. Short 10 sentences. Bas. Everything is there. Dashamula Tattva or 9 prameyas. So it's we all know everything. And I remember my first temple president, his wife was saying, after about 3 months of practicing, she was saying, the wife of my temple president, that it is so amazing to be a devotee. You walk the streets of the big city and you know everything. You look at others, they don't know. And you walk and you know. Yes, Krishna is God. And you may remember that story about little Saraswati, who was preaching in the airport. Do you know who Krishna is? No, little girl. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada says, yes, this is knowledge. She is repeating what she has heard, and this is knowledge. So that's certainly true. That's correct. It has a certain side effect when we think that we know already Krishna. It becomes boring. First of all, it becomes boring because we already know. We have read the whole Krishna book, even chapter 87, Prayers of Personified Vedas. We have read the whole Krishna book, so it's all clear. What's new? Krishna raises the Govardhan hill. Krishna expands himself into all the cowherd boys. So Brahmaji, when he sees how Krishna kills Aghasura, and then Krishna goes, some little calves are running away, and they are about to take breakfast, and Krishna says, okay, you take breakfast, I run, and I will bring back the calves. Would you allow Krishna to bring back the calves, or would you run yourself? Did you think about this? Anyway, the boys allowed Krishna to go and bring back the calves. And Brahmaji, and he goes with fruit rice in his left hand. Yeah? And when they have this picnic, then the boys sometimes take some laddu or barfi. They bite and say, oh, Krishna, it's such a good barfi. Try it. They have bitten, half bitten, and they are giving to Krishna. And Krishna takes and says, oh, very tasty. And try mine. And they exchange what they eat. Yeah, on the plate, and not only one or two, but if you read Ananda Vrindavan Champu or some other Shastra, Gaudiya Vaishnava Shastra, or the Bhagavatam, you will see that every cowherd boy thinks that Krishna looks just at him and sits right next to him. And Ananda Vrindavan Champu describes that they sit like a rainbow. So in rows, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So it looks very beautiful. They have different color of clothes. I think in the morning we had violet chadars on Gaur Nitai, we had blue chadars on Krishna Balaram. Yeah? And I think we had green on Radha Shyama Sundar, right? So it was also a certain order there. So when we hear about this, we think, yeah, I've read it. All clear. Yes? Is it clear? Okay, Krishna eats rice, sweet rice. He exchanges prasad with the boys. So we think, yeah, Sakya Rasa, friendship. Yes, all clear. This is Vrindavan. Yeah? So clear. Is it clear? And Brahmaji, who is the source of the Vedas and personified Vedas, who is who is so qualified. Krishna teaches him personally from the heart, and who is Sampradayacharya, who is intelligent enough to create a universe and run it. Do you think it requires some intelligence to create a universe and run it? If you start a big temple or a community, you feel yes. Or if somebody does it, we think, wow, Hare Krishna, Namo Namaha, right? Brahmaji, or a city, or or something, or that's big, right? So Brahmaji requires intelligence. So Brahmaji creates the whole universe. And Brahmaji says in his prayers, Jananta eva janantu kim bahuktya name prabho manaso vapusho vacho vaibhavam tava gochara. If somebody says they know you, let them talk, let them say. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know anything about you, either in terms of body, words, or mind. In other words, I cannot really perceive you with my eyes, I cannot describe you with my words, and I cannot imagine you in my mind. He says, I don't understand. In fact, throughout the Bhagavatam, he is quoted that he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand Krishna many times. He says this in the second canto. He says this in the third canto. He repeats this again and again, many places. That I don't understand. I cannot understand the Lord. I cannot understand Krishna. So we can say, then why he is the Sampradayacharya? He says he doesn't understand. And we learn from him. What is this? If he should know. If he knows, then speak. Right? And he says, I don't know. And we take him as a Sampradayacharya. Why do we take him as a Sampradayacharya? If he says, I don't know, what will you say? He says, I don't know. Krishna, I don't know you. I cannot describe you. He says clearly. He even says, nobody can describe you, and I cannot describe you. And he says this not once. He says this in many cantos in the Bhagavatam. Second canto, third canto, 10th canto, again and again. Even he personally meets Krishna. Yeah? He stands in front of Krishna. Offers Dandavat to Krishna in Vrindavan. And he says, I don't know you. So how do you think? Why do we accept him as our Sampradayacharya, as the teacher, if he says, I don't know?
Because there is a proper understanding that he doesn't know.
It's a proper understanding that he doesn't know. But how can we learn? From somebody who says he doesn't know.
He is realizing his insignificance, and because he is to a certain extent realizing the glories of Krishna.
He realizes the glories of Krishna. Right.
He realizes the insignificance in that.
He realizes the true significance, yeah. So, you may remember that story, how one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, you say Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, simultaneous oneness and difference. Srila Prabhupada, I don't understand. How is this? Simultaneously one and different. So Prabhupada says, you don't understand. He says, yes, I don't understand. So Prabhupada says, Srila Prabhupada says, understand this, that you don't understand. First, understand this, that you don't understand. If you understand this, that is already some understanding. If you understand that you don't understand, that's a big step. Because all the time we are trying to drag down the Supreme Lord to some lower level. And some of the Achintya concepts, some of the transcendental phenomena, qualities, leelas, we are trying to drag them down to our level. And then they are no longer, we misunderstand them. So this is what, so achintya things like the fall down of a jiva. Did jiva fall down? Or did jiva not fall down? This happened outside, this happened there. Whichever school you take, yes, it happened outside of time and it happened outside of cause and effect. Achintya, right? Or many things about Krishna. So Bhishmadev says, Achintya kalu ye bhava na tans tarkena yojayet. We should not try to drag down the transcendental things and subject them to mundane debate. Mundane debate in terms of mundane logic. In this sixth paragraph of Nishchaya chapter of Bhakti Aloka, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if you debate, if you argue, make a dispute about how the jiva fell down, if you take one side or the other side and start debating, what is the result? He says that anarthas grow. Because you're trying to bring the achintya things down to the mundane platform. Right? So then, what to do? Okay, we cannot, apparently, that's achintya. This is achintya. How is it different from what Mayavadis say? The Mayavadis say about Maya, sad asad anirvachaniya. Because that you cannot tell about Maya or material or matter that Maya exists or that Maya does not exist. They have a trouble because if they say that Maya exists, then it means that there is not one but two. There is Brahman and there is Maya. Right? So that's against their philosophy. If they say that Maya does not exist, then why do sadhana? And modern Mayavadis, they don't do sadhana. But true Mayavadis, they do sadhana. They, true, proper, bona fide Shankarites, they are austere, they follow all the principles, do tapasya and so forth. So therefore, unable to answer that, they say, okay, you cannot talk about this, anirvachaniya. But we don't say that Maya is anirvachaniya. This verse here says that if you realize spirit, then spirit can know what's below. Spirit can know matter. You are above spirit. It's much more proper to call inconceivable not this lowly matter, but the transcendental world. The transcendental world. What's outside? What's beyond this world? And if you do this, then you are never bored. Brahmaji, basically, he meditates on Krishna. He meets Krishna every day. And every day, it's newer and newer. In fact, on the platform of Anuraga, Krishna is so fresh every millisecond that when the boys are in the forest and Krishna is passing behind a tree, even if they are running and Krishna passes behind a tree, so how long does it last? It's 1 millisecond. Okay, 5 milliseconds, 10 milliseconds, right? And for them, it's like a yuga. And for the gopis, this anuraga level, because after prema, all the fun only begins. There is prema, sneha, mana, pranaya, prema, sneha, pranaya, mana, pranaya, raga, anuraga, bhava. There's more and more and more and more fun after prema. So that's the level of anuraga. So for the gopis, how much is intolerable? Blinking, the blink of an eye. Do you even notice when you blink? Like when you come for a darshan, Gaur Nitai, Krishna Balaram, or Radha Shyama Sundar, and then you look at them, and then you, what is, oh Brahmaji, what is this? How did you create these eyes that they have to, because one blink, yugayetam, nimeshana. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yeah? Nimesha is this, blinking. And one nimesha, for them, they have so much love, appreciation, proper perception of Krishna, true perception of Krishna, that for them, this blinking is like a yuga. What's a yuga? How long does a yuga last? If you have to wait for prasadam in a queue or in a line for 20 minutes, you feel, oh my God. Or if the class, goes on longer, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. But for them, it's like a yuga, and the shortest yuga is 432,000 years. The shortest yuga. Even for prasadam, we don't feel like this is this full yuga. So that's true understanding. Never boring. We have this quote in our Bhagavatam from Kena Upanishad 2.3. This is the 10th canto, 87th chapter, verse 30. A beautiful quote given by the acharyas. Yasyamatam tasyamatam matam yasyana vedasa avigyatam vigyanatam vigyatam avijanatam. So yasyamatam tasyamatam. Whoever says they don't know the supreme truth, they actually have the correct knowledge of the supreme truth. And those who say they have the correct knowledge of the supreme truth, they don't have the knowledge of the supreme truth. To those who claim to know him, he is unknown, and can only be known by those who do not claim to know him. Hare Krishna. Yasyamatam tasyamatam matam yasyana vedasa. That's from the Upanishads. So, when did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his conversation with Ramananda Roy, he was asking, please tell me what's the proper path, what to do. So Ramananda Roy, you remember, he gave several steps. He offered Varnashram, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Eho Bahya, Age Koho. So this is external, can you please say something higher? And then he offered Karma Yoga, then he offered Jnana Yoga, means with bhakti, some bhakti should always be there. Then he offered sannyas, Jnana Sannyasa Yoga. And every time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Eho Bahya, this is external. Can you please say something deeper? So, which verse was approved by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Yes, let us chant. Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam stane stita shruti gatam tanuvang manobhir ye prayasho jita jitopya sita istrilokyam. The same Brahmaji in the 14th chapter, 10th canto. So that's Ehohai. Yeah? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes. So what was approved by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It begins, Jnane prayasam udapasya. So Brahmaji, in his prayers, first he says, "This is it. You are transcendental. I cannot conceive your bliss. I cannot conceive your body. I cannot conceive your pastimes." Externally, what to speak about internally, what you are. So, therefore, one should give up jnane prayasa, the effort or the plan to know you. This effort one should give up. I remember for me, this was very disturbing point. How is it? Give up the effort? Jnane for jnana. Jnana is nice, isn't it? And here they say, jnane prayasam, give up. Also, Nectar of Devotion, 14th chapter says, jnana vairagya are not sadhana, part of bhakti sadhana. How is this? Oh, jnana and vairagya are not part of bhakti sadhana, but they are good. Aren't they good? Jnana and vairagya. Aren't they good? Everybody's either expecting it's a trick question. They're good. Yeah, let's accept they're good. They just shouldn't cover. So we reject them as a process, not as qualities. Right? It took me many years to finally find some peace with that statement. We are not against jnana and vairagya. We are vairagya vidya nija bhakti yoga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to bring bhakti yoga with vairagya and vidya, detachment. But they are not processes. They are not how we advance. We advance by bhakti. So in this verse from Brahma Stuti 14.3, Brahmaji says, jnane prayasam, the effort to know you. What does it mean? It means that I think that I can take you and know you. Right? To know something, it means we put it below. Means that I'm controlling something. We like knowledge. Why? Because it gives you some certainty, removes anxiety. We want certainty. Do you want certainty? Do you want clarity? To be clear. So that's control, desire to control. So when we try to know Krishna by our strength, by our intelligence, that's putting us above Krishna, putting ourselves above Krishna. So, jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva, as this verse says. So instead of trying to know you, just capture Krishna and know him. or okay, maybe from the Bhagavatam. I will read. Yes? Is it good or not? It's good. Please accept. But we can approach with the controlling mood. So therefore, Brahmaji says, give up this mood, jnane prayasa, and respect, namanta, offer obeisances, ide, okay, I offer obeisances. And stanestita, wherever you are, in Varnashram and everything, yes, it's okay, stanestita, you stay there. And hear from devotees. Sane stita shruti gatam tanuvang manobir. Use your body, like you have used your bodies to bring your ears here. Yeah, because it's a proper use of the body. And words, so speaking about Krishna, and manobir, the mind. Also, we are trying to understand, what is he speaking? What is there, right? So mind is also there. So, if somebody listens to katha, Krishna katha, says Brahmaji. So listening katha about Krishna's qualities, which include so much philosophy, in a humble mood, in a bhakti mood, in a pure devotion mood, conquers Krishna. He says, you are ajita. You can never be conquered. Brahma Samhita says, they can, munis and sages can fly with the speed of mind for millions of years and never understand you. But, Brahmaji says, if somebody just hears, listens about you, you become conquered. Would you like Krishna to become conquered? Depends what you want to do with him, right? If you want to conquer him with love and serve him, then Ishvaro sadhyo hridyavarudhyate, Bhagavatam says, as soon as you listen to the Bhagavatam, he is captured in your heart. Don't torture him there. You do what he likes, you serve him. Right? So there seems to be a certain contradiction. You give up an effort to be a sage, to know, to understand Krishna, but you invest your effort into listening to Krishna humbly. So how does it work? It works, yes, we use our intelligence, we use our ears, we use our words to go into deeper and deeper into Krishna Katha. But we do this for Krishna's pleasure and for Guru Parampara's pleasure. This is what Srila Prabhupada said. He said that I have only one complaint about my disciples. They don't read my books. Prabhupada was very happy about his disciples. He said, I have only one complaint. They don't study my books. He said, this is not import-export business. These books are not just for sale. Oh, sir, please take this book. What is it about? I don't know. Purnachanda Maharaj says he was distributing books. He knocked on some car's window, and the guy said, what do you have? He said, I have books, please take these books. These books are about God, please buy them. And he looked at him and he said, you are just selling these books, you are not reading them yourself. And he thought, oh! He thought, wow, Krishna spoke through this person to me. So he started taking some time aside to actually read the books. And after some time, his book scores went up. Went up. So everybody started asking, what are you doing that you are distributing so many books? So he says, come aside. And then nobody here says, you read the books. Oh, no. Yes. Take time, sit down and study these books. Oh, really? Not just sell? Yes. Because you read, and if you read it for Krishna, I mean, this is bhakti, and then you like it, and if you like it, it's much. Then maybe others will be inspired also. So Prabhupada says, yes, since 69, in 69 he writes, just after New Year, he sends this letter, famous letter, that we will have Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta. I want all of you, boys, girls, to continue the transcendental diploma of Bhakti Vedanta through the generations. And we don't want it to be lost. And then he says, maybe by 1975, all of my disciples will be allowed to initiate. That is my program, he says. That is my program. So, our path is chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Meditate on Krishna and study the Bhagavatam. Nam Kirtan, Nam Bhajan, Nam Japa, Harinam, and Bhagavat Shravan or Bhagavat Katha together. Yes, sometimes we are called Sankirtan movement, sometimes we are called Bhagavad Dharma. You can see Srila Prabhupada was giving lectures very often on Bhagavad Dharma. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said that this is in that famous chapter 12 of Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav. So, to conclude, he says, Bengal's widespread culture of kirtan had sprung from Lord Chaitanya's propagating Harer Namaiva Kevalam, misunderstanding of which had led to underemphasis of the importance of Shravana, hearing Harikatha. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati revealed that Harikatha is the Swarupa Shakti of Harinam. Just as Krishna is properly worshipped not alone, but with his Swarupa Shakti, Shri Radha. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Recitation of Harinam is incomplete and improper unless accompanied by hearing Harikatha. He stated that wherever Harikatha is spoken is a tirtha, and that Harikatha is the guardian of genuine sadhus in a world where everything that surrounds one is ready to become an enemy and attack the unprotected. Do you feel that the world is ready to protect? Especially if you are sleep deprived, it seems that everything is ready to attack. So, therefore, Bhagavatam and Bhaktisiddhantaji and Bhagavatam says it's the guardian. And I'd like to conclude with a beautiful verse from 3:25-23. Madasraya kathamrishta srinvanti katayanti cha tapanti vividastapa naitan mad gata cetasa. Sadhus engaged constantly in chanting and hearing about me. Mad asraya kathamrishta. They take shelter in me through katha, mrishta. Srinvanti katayanti cha. The sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they are always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities. So tapanti vividastapa, different tapa, different sufferings, tapanti na. The sufferings come and they cannot touch you. Why? Because you are not on the level of these miseries. You are hidden. You've taken shelter in the katha. So they cannot touch you. You are protected. So we worship Krishna through chanting and through hearing Krishna katha. These two. And then when Krishna is pleased, he reveals himself. So we do pure bhakti, kevala bhakti. Just bhakti, just to please Krishna. And then, when he sees this attitude, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes, when he sees this attitude, he reveals himself to you. We say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And if you do this with Shuddha Bhakti Shraddha, Krishna comes. And you hear, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You meet, you hear, Krishna reveals himself. And then, after Anartha Nivriti, then Rupa. So, but to cross Anarthas, to go through Anartha Nivriti, that's Bhagavatam school, Bhagavad Dharma school, to help us. So, there is no yoga without Swadhyaya. There is no yoga, it's a rule. There is no yoga without Shastra. And even Patanjali says, what's the result of Svadhyaya? You get close to your Ishtadev, to your worshipable deity. You are brought closer. Jita jito pyasita istrilokyam. Even though the Lord is unconquerable, He's unknowable, by bhakti, hearing and chanting. By bhakti, hearing and chanting. And reading is a form of hearing. By bhakti, hearing and chanting, then He Himself comes. He Himself comes by His kind mercy. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nidai Gaur Brahmanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. All right, breakfast is calling. However, if somebody would like to